Greetings, YouTube, LMS Tactical. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm here in my squeaky chair in my man cave. I was just actually sitting here watching a DemCAD video. Yeah, he's got some pretty interesting. I like watching him. Like I said, he's a nice dude. And I wanted to talk a little bit about because I know a lot of you guys are thinking about the latest school shooting, and if you're like me, you know, to be when that as soon as that happened, of course I feel terrible because anytime any innocent people die, whether they're men, women, or children, it's always it affects us if we care, and I do. But I immediately turned the news off because I haven't really watched it more than just to check it real quick in the morning because I always get in that mood where I just can't bear listening to the bullshit that's going to go on and on about everybody pretending like they can't understand why the kids are killing all the kids and how we got to get rid of the guns, and it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns. Look, man, those of us who are able to be free thinkers, and this doesn't mean that you have to be a Republican or a conservative, but the fact is that so many Democrats or liberals are just, I'm so sorry if this offends you, but I used to just dislike the way Democrats and liberals thought. But I honestly think after Trump's been in administration as a president for this long, I actually am convinced that it is a mental illness. And I don't mean that to be, flippant or funny. I think that people that really believe in whatever the liberal agenda is, which we all have our own opinions, I think it's to destroy what we have as a country and turn it into something else, some European failure. I just think it's a problem. I think it's a mental illness. I can no longer justify anybody, whether they're blood relatives or not, friends, former friends, enemies. It just doesn't make any sense. And so the school shootings are just another thing that spins me right up into the thought process of how fucked up the liberal mind is. You constantly hear after these tragedies, these supposedly intelligent news people and the guests that they have on, the commentators, trying to figure out why. What has changed? What's going on with the kids today? Is it bullying? Is it this? Is it that? Look, we know what it is. And for those liberals that somehow accidentally got their computer stuck on my channel, I'm going to tell you what it is. Not because I'm a smart guy, but because I'm a free thinker and I'm not controlled by anybody, Republican, conservative, Democrat, nobody. I use my own head, and I can ascertain and differentiate between right and wrong and common sense and idiocy. So, looking back on the history of the United States, this country was founded on guns, created behind a gun. Whether you like that or not, that's just the way it is. And it's one of our constitutional rights. Do I think that right's going to be here forever? No, I think that eventually the left will win out and destroy this country, and it'll probably start with the altering or removal of the Second Amendment. And hopefully I'll be dead before that happens, just because I don't want to see it. Now, there have always been guns in this country. Always. Yet, and of course in the 50s, and before that, but in the 40s, 50s, and early 60s, and even in the 70s, there were schools that had shooting teams, and kids would bring their guns to school so that they could, practice, shooting for competition. Kids would go bring their guns to school and then go hunting after school in more of the rural areas, and it was not a big deal. But now, and nobody was walking into a schoolroom and blowing people away. So what changed, Mike? What happened? Now, most of my subscribers already know what I'm going to say because I've said it before, and it's just so obvious. Excuse me. I'm like Marco Rubio. I'm taking a drink, so I'll hear a bunch of shit about that. So, let me just break it down for the simpletons. And I'm talking to you, I'm going to refer to liberals. I'm referring to anybody that thinks left of center. What's changed is society has changed. And it's the way that we treat each other, and specifically the way we raise our children. We are no longer allowed to raise our children. This is just a fact of life. Now, of course, I came from an abusive home, so my mom was beating the fuck out of us with weaponry, frying pans and sticks and shit. But she, my sisters would go to school black and blue, and the nurses would check them out, and they didn't call children's services in those days, and subsequently they're all fucked up, and one is dead now. But kids that would get the crap beat out of them by their parents learned a lesson. I'm not saying that you should abuse your kids, but nowadays you can't hit your kids. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, because I believe from what I've seen that if you slap the shit out of your kids, you probably end up with a fucking criminal case, which blows my mind. When I was in elementary school in Hawthorne, California, Mr. Blake was the principal, and I got hit by this guy a lot because I had a weird sense. I wasn't a bad kid, but I fucked around a lot. And I threw some popcorn at some kids during the decoration of the Christmas tree or something. And Mr. Blake came in and he drugged me all the way from my room to his office by my ear. And then he slapped the crap out of me. And then he threw me in the car and drove me home. That was for throwing fucking popcorn. Can you imagine that now? So how do you think those of us that are my age, I'm almost 56, and I'm watching, YouTube videos where like a teacher will say, "Sit down, Billy," and Billy jumps up and beats the living shit out of the teacher. And the rest of the kids are videotaping it and shit. That's how I see it on YouTube. And they're like, "Oh yeah, kick his ass." I mean, righteously beating the fuck out of the teacher. Go on YouTube if you haven't seen it. Just go in there and search kids beating up their teachers. And you'll be entertained for hours. Guys like me can't fucking believe that. So that's the one aspect of it. So we cannot physically discipline our kids, whether you agree with physical discipline or not. Now, I've raised 7 kids now, and I slapped one of them. One of them I slapped in the face because I was a cop at the time, and my hours and days off changed, and he forgot that I was home on a day that he thought I was at work, and I was laying in bed, and I heard him talking back to his mom, my ex-wife. And so I came storming in my fucking underwear and tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around, I smacked him, not hard, but I told him, I said, "Hey, that's your mother, and that's my wife. Don't talk shit to her." That was the only time he ever got hit. The other identical twin never's been hit, and my daughter got smacked on the bottom one time because she went past the fucking fire hydrant down the street where she wasn't supposed to go. And I always said it wasn't that I'm against spanking my kids. It was just that my kids were so fucking good I didn't have to. Kept waiting for an opportunity, but I never had to. Let's see. Hang on a second. I just paused the video because my wife texted me a message that the squirrels were stealing my bird feeders, so I had to run out there. What the hell? I don't remember where I left off. Honestly, I don't remember what I was saying. Shit, it's been like 10 minutes now that I was paused. I think we were talking about discipline. So yeah, spanking of the kids. Yeah, so I wasn't against it, but fortunately I didn't have to do a lot of it. So we've taken that away from not only parents, but teachers. Teachers can't strike kids. Principals can't strike kids. And I know a lot of people are against that, but I think that's the problem. I'm just telling you what I think the problem is. And I think all of this leads to what just happened at the school. So, I mean, it's a combination of things. You've taken away those two things. You've taken away the teacher's ability to discipline. If they say something that the kids don't like, the kids' feelings get hurt, the teacher gets in trouble because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I mean, do you realize? See, this is why I think liberalism is a sickness, because they don't get this. They honestly, it's like if you don't understand these simple concepts, then you are not capable of understanding them, and I think that's the problem with the country. This is the creeping growth of fucking communism or socialism, and then eventually communism. I think that's what's happening. We've got all these brainwashed people that grew up and became teachers and parents, and they want to let their kids do whatever the fuck they want. How many kids that have liberals as parents are disciplined at all? How many of them have chores and have repercussions if they don't complete their chores? You know, we all like to make fun of the millennials because they're so fucking lazy and they don't do anything. But that's how they've been raised. They've been raised that they are absolute equals. There's no hierarchy in the family. I know somebody very, very well who is a millennial who made a scrunched up face and couldn't believe that I suggested that a parent should be considered at a higher level than the child, if for nothing else other than the fact that you wouldn't be here without the fucking parent. And the response was, hey, just because you're a parent doesn't put you in any other higher, echelon. This is how they think. And I'm married to an Asian woman who is, thank God, very old school. And subsequently, my two stepchildren, they, they both graduated college. They don't give any shit. They don't talk back. Are they a little bit lazy? Yeah, because they've been influenced by this society that they're living in. It ain't like our day when we saw the grass long, we went out and mowed the shit, or we were going to fucking pay for it. Now you got to pay motherfuckers and beg them and everything else. It's pathetic. So these same fucking kids, these shooters, these guys that go on to be shooters at school, they got no discipline. If they are, for some reason, motivated enough to compete in any kind of a competition in the school system, they get this awards, just like, there's no longer any fucking first, second, and third place that I'm aware of, because we don't want to hurt these motherfuckers' feelings. So, you could be the fattest, slowest motherfucker on the track team and waddle across the finish line 3 hours after the fucking race has ended, and you're still going to get some kind of a plaque and a big pat on the back. And you did so good, Billy. You did so good. No, you didn't. You eat too much, you're fat, and you can't fucking run. Get off my fucking track team. That's the way it should be. But if you said that, you'd be sued if you were fucking worked for the school. Later on, fucking Billy, who's had no fucking discipline at home, doesn't have any chores, does what he fucking wants. When he gets home, he talks back to the teacher. He doesn't fucking get any trouble for that. He gets awards for shit for not doing anything. He's told that he's a good person, even though he's a fuck up. And then when he's at home, he spends hour after hour after hour slaughtering fucking, digital images on video games where it's so realistic you can see the brain matter flying out of their fucking zombie heads. Or he's mowing people down in an airport in these fucking Call of Duty shit. By the time a kid nowadays is about fucking 10 years old, he's digitally murdered about 16 million fucking people. You think that doesn't fucking have an effect on somebody in terms of a brain that's not even fully developed? I used to play those fucking games, man. I don't know, back in 2009 and shit. And look, man, there's nothing funner than blowing motherfuckers away on a big screen TV. But even I could realize, man, this is, it has an effect on people. It does, especially a growing brain that's not fully developed. You just buy them all these fucking games. They sit in their fucking room. And they think they have 75,000 friends because that's what their Facebook thing tells them, but they don't have any fucking close friends. They have zero social skills. They have no clue what it's like to size up another person when you meet them for the first time, and you got to look at their body language and make eye contact, and when they're older, give a firm handshake. They don't know how to do it. They job interviews, they have no clue what they're doing. I've got friends that are hiring people, and the fucking kids, young people show up for these job interviews. I have no fucking, I'm talking like high school, post-college. They don't know what the fuck to say. They don't know how to sit. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to form a fucking sentence. They're educated and fucking ignorant as hell. They don't understand. You could drop them off in the middle of a fucking forest that had animals hopping all over the fucking place and a waterfall full of fucking pristine water, and they'd die of thirst and starvation. Because they don't know how to do shit. They don't want to get fucking dirty. They don't know how to change fucking tires. They don't know how to change the oil on a fucking car. They don't know anything. But they think they got all these fucking friends. And they talk shit on the internet and, things that if you did that in real life, you get your fucking nose broken. So they think that's how you relate to human beings. They think that's that's society. And then on top of it, maybe they're getting fucking picked on by some of the people in school. So now they're pissed off bullied, and oh, by the way, their fucking father has fucking, 6 or 7 guns and is too stupid to fucking buy a gun safe. So he's got, like this guy, he shows up to school with his father's guns and he starts mowing fucking people down. And we all fucking shake our collective heads in the liberal land and grit our teeth and gnash our teeth and scream, why? What's happening? It's the guns. We gotta take the guns away. No, we gotta start raising our fucking kids properly. And I'll tell you this, man, this is an absolute prediction. And I mean it. Hopefully I'll be dead and gone. But there will come a time in this country when you cocksuckers that are destroying this country are going to have a moment of epiphany where you realize that you fucking threw your country away. You just tossed it away because you thought you were being rebellious by changing things. You know, we can't have any fucking Boy Scouts. We're gonna have to call them Scouts and destroy a fucking tradition that's over 100 years old because that makes us feel special, like we're part of a change. You are part of a change. You know, if you drill a hole through the fucking bottom of a cruise ship and sink it and kill everybody, you were part of a change. You fucking satisfied and happy with yourself? Because that's what you're doing. You're sinking our fucking ship. You know? Slowly but surely. You know, marriage will probably become outlawed. There are already fucking places where they're trying to take the word man out of simple words like human and fucking workman and whatever. Common. Common. You know, it's like, you guys are destructive. You're destructive, and the only joy that I have is 2 things. One, that I hope I'm not going to be here when it gets to its peak. And 2, you're going to fucking reap what you sow. You motherfuckers that are destroying my country right now, you guys are fucking in school at the age of fucking like 10 years old, so you're going to have kids, and your kids are going to fucking walk all over you. And if there ain't a gun on the planet, your kids are going to be going in there and fucking hacking people to death with machetes. And you're going to think back to this fucking period when we still could have got a handle on it. But you fucked it up. Nice going. Anyways, before I fucking hang up, I want to fucking show you. I just got this back in the mail. This is my LAPD original revolver. It's a Smith & Wesson stainless steel 38. So, it's empty. So this was issued to me in 1984, and I just got it back from getting it. I don't know if you can see the LAPD on the side. I had a guy fucking engrave it. Isn't that cool? And it's got my name and the date and the serial number, on the side. This gun right here it's such a piece of history to me because think about it. It's like the last. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know of any police departments in the entire fucking world that are issuing revolvers. Certainly not in the country. So I feel like it's like the last of the fucking cowboy era. I mean, I used to fucking sport that thing around and take guys down with AK-47s and MAC-10s and shit, and that was all I had was my little 6-shot. So I thought it was kind of cool to get it engraved and leave it to the kids so that they can get it confiscated when the fucking liberals roll around with their FEMA trucks and fucking arrest everybody. Anyways, I'm not bitter. Sorry if you lost a kid or if you know somebody that lost a kid, but don't keep asking why this happened. Just fucking look in the mirror and ask what you've done to destroy this country, and there's your answer. Anyways, hope you guys are having more fun than I am. Love you, babe. LMS Tactical, I'm out.